Hello, this is Mike of Nearly Enough Dice. This is the Kerbal Space Program. We're in the Steel Snake, the latest Steel Snake mission. And we're about 40 seconds away from a fairly short burn to change my plane of inclination. So hopefully I'll be able to grab this contract point, winning riches and fame. Or at least a little bit of cash, and more importantly, space on my contracts panel. Then I'm going to try and get those contracts, two of which are, in-flight crew reports, and one of which is a setter sample. And I also have a plant flag quest, contract, which I would also be able to do. So this should be a reasonably fruitful mission if I can actually get any of it. Thus far, it's taken me a fair amount of time to get here, and I have yet to actually achieve anything. I've got a few science results, that's about it. So there's that burn going in. And I'll just aim towards the maneuver now. Get those last few meters a second. I'm going to call that done. Now, let's walk there. Now I think I'm going, I'm not sure. So, if I want to go that way, that's pink triangle. So, yeah, I actually don't want that maneuver node. But I'll go to the triangle instead. And just use, I'm just going to let's go to orbit. Because it's so close, it was in deciding that I wanted to be on the surface. High enough, I think I'm going. Don't know that I can change quickly enough. I think that is shrinking. I'm just going to go with that. And we'll see how it goes. So it's a crew report we're wanting. So I guess I have to go into here. Is this crew report wanting? Crew report. I just hope I'm close enough. Should be. I mean, there's generally a fairly wide. There we go. Okay, so I was actually had tons of room. That is fine. I don't mind. Crew report. Right, it is worth 0 science. I'll chuck it, but it doesn't matter because look. You performed the survey, 22 grand. Given this cost just over 100 grand, well, never mind. But still, 148 grand for actually completing the mission because there are other surveys that needed to be done, which I'd done previously. So there we go, one profitable mission. Hoorah! Now, what I want to do is I want to see if I can't get these ones here. This is going to be exceedingly painful to do. Because not only do I want to change my inclination quite a lot, I also want to change my periapsis. But I still have quite a lot of delta V, so it might not be as bad as I thought. Yeah, I had some vague idea of trying to hit both of those at the same time, but I don't see that happening. Just because of how they're all lining up, and how I lined up with that previous set. Oh, that's not what I want. No. But what I do want to know is I do want to be below 8k when I'm down there, which should be now what I might be able to do, but this will be quite hard. That's not what I wanted to do. One of the big reasons why I want to get precise node, which I actually I do possess. I've got it on my system. I just haven't installed it yet. One of the reasons is precisely so that if I hit, well, first off, I won't be hitting radial or anti-radial accidentally, because I'll just be using precise node all the time. So what I think I'm going to do, how much delta V is that? It's 271 out of my, okay. If I get one of them, right, here's my logic. Get one of them on one orbit, and then I can just change it a slightly tiny bit. Oh, really needs to be a keyboard thing for that. Anyway, so if I can grab that on this orbit, right? And then I grab the next one on the next orbit. I think that sounds reasonable. So it would involve a much smaller change of inclination, and then a third orbit to actually land, and you can get that. And hopefully it'll still be in the daytime, just because that'll make it nicer to watch. All right, alarm clock time. After I've done this, I've pretty much, with a few exceptions, I think I've pretty much run out of the sort of contracts that I've been doing thus far, where there's generally a fairly, you can do it in more or less one session. Even though, I split these videos up, but I'm doing most of them all in one session, as you can tell by whether or not my t-shirt changes between episodes. But they're starting to get things like launch a huge station with many Kerbals worth of occupation in orbit around the sun and stuff like that. And it's like, what? That's going to take ages. And I'm wondering if I want to do a slightly different style of play. Where because I've been doing a lot of things, like I've got all these, I've got the Juno orbiters and the explorers, a few hundred days away doing stuff. I might want to just start following those missions instead of sending those off, coming back and doing normal missions, and then coming back and only doing those when it's appropriate. Maybe I want to start doing send things to Moho all in one go, and I don't care that it's several years in the making. I just fast forward through lots and lots of years. 1, 0. The difference between doing you know, one mission at a time and acting like you're running a space program. Okay, I think that's going to do us. I might have a little bit of a thing around about there, just for adjustments, because I'm not. The closer I can get, the happier I'm going to be. I'll basically be doing this one with just the plus, the shift and control keys, not Z and X. I'm not going to go full throttle because it'd be like a 0.3 second burn, which is not very long. And I don't know whether I'd be able to have the reflexes to do that, basically. In fact, I must just do it now. I'm quite happy to overcook it slightly because as that's going to rotate around, I should catch up with it. Now, what would be particularly nice is if the radius of the second one is big enough that I can actually, you know, I don't think it's going to. What's my height? My height's fine. I'm not looking like I'm smashing into the ground at any point. Okay. Then crew reports. Okay, that's got that. We're not getting any science out of it. That's fine. That's another 17 grand. I very much doubt I'm going to be getting that second one. No. Did I get that? Did I see a thing? I'm not sure. I honestly can't remember. I'm just going to hit crew report anyway. Nout. Okay. That was overly optimistic. So going back to about 90 degrees away. Below 8,900, so that's still fine. Gonna have a quick check around my orbit, make sure there's at no point that it looks like it's smashing into the ground, because that's always embarrassing when that happens. And that's as much as I can do. Time warpy wise, so I'm just going to obviously spend like a couple of minutes drifting around. How tedious. Yeah, so I've got about 4 contracts while I'm zipping around. I've got about 4 contracts bound up on Duna. So I've got like explore Duna and explore Ike. Fly by Duna and I think I've fly by Duna and fly by Ike as well, which are you know, that's taking a lot of slack in my contracts thing. So that's limiting the number of contracts that I can look at and that will come up for me to choose from. Yeah, I got yeah. See, 95 days, I've got, if I'm going to send something to Dres, that's when I want to send something to Dres. But to be perfectly honest, if I'm going to send something to Dres, probably what I want to send is something nuclear powered. I need another 1,000 science for that. Which I suspect I can actually get from sending something to Minmus, because I've got a list of which biomes I've done what to, and there's like poles, lowlands, highlands, flats and greater flats that I haven't done landers, and there's a couple of hundred science available. Probably no more than that actually at each location, because if you get, let's see, the materials bay is 125. I think some of the gravity one I think is 100. Mr. Goose I think is about 100. I can't remember how. I mean, then and you got temperature, and you got the gravioli, and you got the barometer. I've mentioned gravioli, and you got the seismometer. Then you got surface sample and EVA report. So I should probably, if I've got, I mean, how much cash have I got? I think I've got lots of cash, actually. I've got lots of cash. I've got over 1 million. So it'd be probably worth sending a Minmus expedition, because I reckon I'm very likely to be able to get at least poles and highlands, because they're fairly close together. I mean, I might have to look at the Great Flats and the Greater Flats and Flats and Lowlands, and see if I can find those in kind of, proximity. Proximity is the word I'm looking for. But poles and highlands I should be able to get, so that should be at least 2 biomes I can get in one go, and that should be a goodly chunk. I mean, that should get me a fair chunk along the way to getting the nuclear power plant, because if I'm going to send things that far out away from the sun, the solar panels stop working because the sun is just too far away. So if I want to send something to Dres, that's what I'm going to have to send. But I also need to start deciding: do I want to do? After a while, how different are the missions, and what am I getting out of them? Because I'm actually getting close to maxing out the tech tree. 1,000 science, and I've got that nuclear power plant. There's some scanning bits and pieces that I might want, but there's not very much. I mean, the rest is largely the aerodynamic stuff, and I'm not quite sure how much I care about that. So I may actually be getting close to nearly maxing out the tech tree as a whole, or at least what I want out of the tech tree. And then I'm kind of, what are my goals at that point? Am I just saying, well, I mean, yeah, sandbox game, obviously. Do I start saying, well, I'm just going to make my own goals at this stage? I'm going to stick a flag in every body that is possible to stick a flag into in the system. I'm going to set up a base on everything that could put a base on. Right, I'm deliberately overgoing, as you can see, that the previous one really, because this point moved along, I would have missed it. So I'm going to give myself a bit of leeway, in fact. Alrighty then, it should still be under. Right, what we'll do is we're going to warp to here. What I might do, maybe it'll be worth landing actually, instead of going for yet another orbit. Land there and then aim for that one. I don't know. No, I'm gonna see if I can get this, and then I'll land later. Um, if I really have to. So it'll be if I was going to go for this one. No, I think I'm fine. So basically I'm going to grab this. Oh, what? Am I too high up? I'm too high up. Oh, nuts. Oh, no. That's aggravating. Well, anyway, I'm going to fiddle that and sort it later. I'll go around again and maybe I will land this time and do it that way if that's the way I need to do it. I wasn't paying attention to my height. Anyway, so I've got that to do. So thanks so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying the videos. Nearly Enough Dice can be found at nearlyenoughddice.com and also on Facebook and Twitter. And until next time, reach the stars, but do keep an eye on your altitude.